What's up, everyone? Welcome back for another San Diego Comic-Con 2022 interview. I have the cast of the new Interview with the Vampire series. Hello, congratulations. Even though I have seen nothing, I'm just so hyped, and I have all the faith in the world in all of you.
Well, look at them. Of course, it's great. It is great.
I believe it instantly. All right, so first thing I want to ask you here is for each of you to chime in on this. What do you think it is about adapting this material to the series format that, I don't know, maybe gives you more room to play or an added layer than maybe they had in the previous film adaptation?
I think something that's so brilliant about Anne Rice's books is that she really gives space to get to know all of these characters, and these like huge passages that just delve into backstory and into who they are as people, so that then you have these little moments of plot that mean so much because of everything you've learned. And I think that in this format, you get to do that. Like, you get to really get into the weeds of who these keep wanting to say people are, but they're not people, who these characters are, these vampires are.
Yeah, we have 7 hours to explore this really dense, beautiful world, and we get to bring in more elements from different books, and we get to expand that sort of universe. And I think people who are a fan of the whole Vampire Chronicles can be very excited, actually, because we get to bring in more things than the film ever got a chance to do, which, I love the film, though.
Yeah, we have a lot of Easter eggs. You're on the edge of your seat on each episode because we really get to dive deeper into the characters.
It's my kind of adaptation. I like it. I was also going to say vampires are people too, but maybe it's vampires were people too.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
All right,
some have more humanity than others. Yeah.
All right, Jacob, for you specifically now, you obviously know a thing or two about adapting very popular source material to screen.
Yeah.
What is something about your process that stayed the same from Game of Thrones to here in terms of bringing your character to life? But then also, what is something about Interview with the Vampire that posed a unique challenge and had to, have you change up your approach to the work?
Well, I don't know if I brought a lot, although I think Louis is a very thoughtful character. He's very watchful, and I think Grey Worm was also kind of had that quality to him. But Louis talks a lot more. Louis wants to really get into it. But I think there's like a unique challenge with this show is that these characters have lived for decades, or for a decade, and to kind of track that journey and who somebody is when they're 147 versus who somebody is when they're in their 30s is really hard. And it's like trying to figure out at which point did he change? What did he pick up from this? What did he pick up from there? What did he bring? I mean, Louis brings everything with him. He's got so much baggage. He's like, I don't think he leaves anything behind in his human existence. But yeah.
It's part of the reason why vampire stories always fascinate me.
Yeah.
Like, we can't experience that whatsoever. Bailey, for you, you're having quite the couple of years right now. You came to this series after having worked with James Cameron on Avatar, and him in particular, he is one of the most iconic directors out there who also has a habit of revolutionizing the industry and doing very unique things on his films. So is there anything you saw him do, like a one-of-a-kind tactic in terms of bringing material to life and directing actors that left you with a new tool in your back pocket that you were able to apply to your work on this show?
Well, the great thing about both of these projects is there's so much detail. And with this being so much, I've never done live action before because I play a blue person in Avatar. So being on a live action set where there's a full townhouse and couches that I can sit on was really interesting. But then learning the skill of imagination in Avatar I was really able to apply when playing Claudia, because I am playing this extreme character who's 14, is stuck in this 14-year-old body, but then has to explore these older ages.
What a fascinating transition. So another question for that. What is something about doing live action acting for the camera that, called for some sort of readjustment where the way the camera picks up your performance in that case is different than something like Avatar?
Fortunately, I was able to have the whole world. Mara built this big set and every detail is there. You look around the entire room 360 and it's the entire apartment. So I was able to play with that the same way on a soundstage. Yes, it's gray, but I get to imagine the world. It's just more internal compared to on a live action set. It's external.
Sam, I'm coming your way now. For this particular role, I was reading that they got quite a few audition tapes for it, but yours immediately stood out. So it was making me wonder, what were some of your goals for that particular audition? But then how did those goals for the character change once you booked the role and then started working on the show?
Well, I've been a huge fan of these books for a very long time. So when I heard that they were going to make the show, like, I really wanted the opportunity to audition. So I was really excited that I had the opportunity to give it a go. So I went back to the books, looked at the character, and then that's sort of, once I was cast, is the same thing that I just kept going back to the books, going back to Anne Rice. And, you know, I feel an immense amount of pressure taking this character on because he's someone who I really love. So I want to do the best that, you know, I can do and you know, honor him and honor the work that Anne did. Yeah, so it's very exciting, but super exciting. Yeah.
Again, I got faith.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. All right, Eric, you're up. So for you, your character in the book was a young boy when he conducted the interview. Now he is a seasoned journalist. What is something about his approach to interviewing that is gained from his experience as a journalist? But then also, what is something about the original rendition of the character that you wanted to, you know, hold true to and have, even though he is more experienced in this show?
Well, the boy in the book is ambitious. I mean, the whole thing that motivates him to make the recordings in the first place is he's got a little bit more than the average bear when it comes to, let's go get that story. And that gets him in the muck of this whole thing to begin with. But now it's 40-something years later. He has a lot of experience as a actually very accomplished journalist. He's won Pulitzers. He's badass when it comes to go getting the story. And here's this story that falls on him. The vampire wants to talk again, and he thinks this could be his ticket to the big prize, but it's super dangerous. I mean, he could get killed. The vampire might eat him. So what then? I mean, he's willing to go get. He's got a lot at stake, and he's ready to go for it. And but it's with all that experience. He's the old dog who knows what he's going after now.
I understand that mentality. If you were a vampire, I would happily interview you and take that risk. Why not? So one of my absolute favorite things about source material that is adapted multiple times is that everyone has a different interpretation of the material, and you usually do wind up being able to highlight something new that we haven't seen before in that material. So for each of you, what is something specifically about your character that is unique to you that, you know, maybe brought something out in the source material that we haven't really highlighted before, whether it's the source material itself or the movie?
For me, I think it's, and I love how much Louis aches in the book. I love that he is mourning his past existence, and our Louis very much is very much that as well. But I'd say our Louis has like a little bit more punch to him. I think he's more inclined to go at Lestat rather than sort of initially he's slightly less brooding, but we get there. we get there, but yeah, I'd say he's got a little bit more bite in him.
I would say Claudia, we dive deeper into how much Claudia wants love, not just from Louis and Lestat, but also from other people, to find her companion the way Louis and Lestat have each other. She wants that, so we dive deeper into that.
And I'd say for our version of Lestat, what we get to do is go into the subsequent books that the film, you know, didn't get the chance to necessarily do, and we take that second edition that Anne sort of went on with and bring him into our story. So he's a more complex character, and you get to learn a bit more about, you know, his backstory. Not too much, because he, you know, keeps his cards to himself, but you understand him a bit more, I think. Yeah.
All right, Eric, how about you?
Well, I mean, me and Daniel, we're on the same arc. I'm in the same place in my life that Daniel is, and I've had my ups and downs, and now I'm a curmudgeon as I become this older character in my real life, and it's kind of like who he is. And for me, that's actually a challenge. I've played some very broad characters in my day, and now I'm playing a guy who's actually kind of driving along the next lane just over from me, and it's interesting. It was a real challenge.
All right, before I have to wind down with you guys, We're going to play a game. I'm going to put a different type of supernatural spin on this game. So rather than vampires, I'm going to make this zombies. So I'm going to give you a description of, like a zombie movie cliche, and I want you to tell me which real actor best suits this description. And whoever shouts out their answer first is right. So good luck with this.
Out of the cast?
Yes. So I'm gonna set the scene right now. You're all on set filming an episode of this show. A zombie outbreak happens. So the first one is, who is most likely to be the last to catch on and not realize the set has been overrun by zombies?
Me.
I say Bailey.
Oh, I was gonna say
threw
Eric,
yourself
but
under
yeah,
the bus.
maybe.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Why?
Because I'm in La La Land. Like, I'm so happy. I look for the joy. I won't even notice that they're being zombies.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You gotta
kind of
make
a
friends with
lovely
the
reason.
I
zombies.
would
though.
make friends with the zombies.
All right. Who is the most likely to sacrifice themselves for the others?
Jacob.
Aw.
Jacob, yeah,
Yeah.
Jacob.
That's like the highest compliment you
That's
can
really
get in this
nice.
game.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Who is the most likely to trip and fall while running from the zombies?
Look at
I'm me. I don't have any ability to run from zombies. I get scared, and then I always fall down when zombies are chasing me.
But then Jacob will sacrifice himself for you and
Yeah,
you'll live
exactly.
happily ever
And I
after.
will survive.
I love this one. Who is most likely to get bit and then try to hide their infection from the group?
Oh, we know who that is.
Is this
There's only one guy
is
left.
this Sam?
I think it's probably Sam.
How long do you have
It
to
is
hide
Sam.
it though?
For eternity.
You've just
Eternity, and you're good at
giving
that.
yourself away.
Yeah.
I feel like there's two ways to look at that question. You could either hide it because like you're too scared to admit it, you don't want everybody else to kill you, or you're hiding it to preserve your own life so you could help and fight for the others. So you could either take that as a compliment or not.
Oh, I mean, I think you probably like try and hide it, and then like we can all be a zombie gang together, right?
I mean,
Come
I would watch
join
that show
me.
too.
So
Yeah.
for selfish
That'd be
reasons.
kinda
Sam just wants to turn us all into zombies.
Yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily.
Who is most likely to be the last one standing?
Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
Sam.
Kind of for the reasons we just said.
Yeah.
All right, so
I
this
guess you mean
doesn't
Survivor.
this one doesn't really happen in zombie movies, but I like thinking about it. Who is the most likely to get bit and get turned into a zombie, but have the willpower to fight the change and then come back at the last possible second and save the day?
Can I say Louis?
Oh, that's yeah.
'Cause to an extent, that's like
can
him,
have-
but
we'll let you
vampires.
have that one. We'll let you have it.
Eric's pretty stubborn. Probably. Like Eric could do that.
Louis is the perfect answer to that question, though. All right, I got to let you guys go. Congratulations again. I am counting down the seconds until I can see your show. Enjoy Comic-Con. To everybody out there, keep an eye out for Interview with the Vampire, the series. Check it out.